You know I'm a Tate fan.
I do know that. Yeah.
And obviously right now, not the best time for Tate fans.
Okay. Interesting.
But this is my thing. Okay, I wanna get your perspective on this, because obviously I know how you feel about this and about this as a whole. And I want to preface this by saying human trafficking is very bad.
Okay, good. Okay? I'm glad we're starting on a good place.
Yes, human trafficking is terrible.
Not good, right?
It's one of the worst things ever, easily, actually.
Okay.
Right, because this is my issue with the internet. My biggest issue with the internet is like, content creators like you, not you is that the issue. I'm just saying, like, people make content around this stuff right off the bat, because right when it's trending, it gets views. Even I'll tweet something about Andrew Tate when this happened. It's like views, engagement. Like we're saying right away, because he's on 1,000 different like news outlets saying human trafficker. People are going to see this and go, he's a human trafficker, right? That's what they try to do. But have they proven it yet?
So you're saying, innocent until proven guilty, right?
Of course.
Right. So
because here's my issue with it, right? So when we talk about, I'll give you another example, like 2 weeks ago. And I want to say I want to preface this, but I'm not defending someone being a human trafficker.
No, I understand. You're saying maybe people are judging him too quickly.
Because people love to. And that's the thing, people, and there's a lot of reasons why. Obviously, I think that it exists, and we could talk about it, but I'm just going to give you a different example. Like, obviously, human trafficking is a massive allegation. It's a huge thing. Like that. If this proven true, the rest of his life is pretty much fucked. We'll call it what it is, right?
Yeah.
But now we'll talk about like domestic violence, right? Same thing. But so check this out. Gervonta Davis, he gets called out. He's 911. He's a boxer.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
2 weeks ago or something, like his girl is calling 911 and like acting like he's hitting her and all this stuff. And then you see this like he's reacting like, I don't even want to do this shit anymore. I don't want to box anymore. He felt so hurt about it because he was like, this isn't true, right? This is my issue with it all. I'll get to it. A week or a couple days after this whole like 911 call, and this girl's pretending like he's hurting her, he's hitting her and her daughter, like they have a kid. She comes back and she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't in a good space. This isn't true. He didn't hit me. He never hit his daughter," right? This is my issue with this stuff. Someone's going to see the first bit of the negative human trafficker, domestic violence, and they're going to go, that motherfucker is a woman beater and he beats his family. And they're not going to see anything else that comes next. Some people will, when it goes, oh, it was actually, I was overreacting. This isn't real, right? This wasn't true, right? So right away you label someone as something that maybe not necessarily is 100% the truth yet, which is a very large badge to stick on someone. Right. And I can speak from a perspective in this because like I've dealt with shit on the internet where I've been in situations where I've been dragged for things that were never true and I just had to live with it. So when I see it, I'm like, it's a fuck situation to be in a position where like, again, if it's true, you're fucked. You're done for. If it's not true, you get dragged and people just go, oh, that they just don't see the whole story.
Sure.
You know?
So that's a big problem, right? And that's like a horrible crime. I mean, a horrible crime to accuse someone of like a domestic abuse. I've heard about, I'm really into like true crime, and I've heard about shit like a girl will like lie that she was raped, just straight up lie, and the dude will spend like 20 years in prison. I mean, this is a heinous fucking crime. I feel like if you lie about something like that, you should get the same penalty that they would get. For sure. About Andrew Tate, though.
Let's talk about it.
Here's where I find it interesting about Andrew Tate. He was arrested recently for human trafficking. He was investigated for it before. He got out on bail or something, right? But now they came back. They arrested him. They put him in jail. He tried to post bail, but a judge made an order that he cannot leave. He has to be there for at least 30 days as they decide what they want to do with prosecution, right?
This is in Romania.
Yeah, in Romania. Yeah. Now, as I understand of Romanian law, there is a pretty high burden of evidence to get that 30-day, but he's not been convicted. What I find interesting about Andrew Tate is the things he's being accused of, he's literally said he does.
You're talking about
literally
the cam girl stuff?
Yeah. He literally had a website. He's like, yo, this is how I make my living. I trick girls into thinking they're my girlfriend. He had like at one point like 50 cam girls. And what he's accused of doing is like bringing them out over there, getting them involved in like sex trade, cam girling, something that they, I guess, weren't otherwise interested in. He also had like women accomplices who were also arrested too, who like, you know, in prostitution, there's this thing called like the top girl, whoever, who like helps manage the other girls or like, and so a few of his accomplices have also been arrested in this. And he's basically accused of not letting them leave the house to go out. He's accused of taking their passports in certain spots and also being physically violent with them. This is from his website that he has since removed, but I've talked about this a lot. This was from his, like, he's like also like a pickup artist, right? Coach, alpha male, whatever the fuck. He says, I've been running a webcam. This is his words on his website. Word for word. Okay. On his website, 100% bona fide real. Says, I've been running a webcam studio for nearly a decade. I've had over 75 girls work for me, and my business model is different than 99% of webcam studio owners. Over 50% of my employees were actually my girlfriend at the time. Of all my girlfriends, none were in the adult entertainment industry before they met me. He says, literally, that was my job. So and I'm just going to stop to analyze a little bit. So this insinuation that they were not in the industry before, right? And he got them in by being their girlfriend, okay? Literally, that was my job. My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'd do anything I say. Again, there's a coercion there, right? I mean, even if you don't think he's doing anything illegal, by his own words, he's saying, I get them to fall in love with me, and then they're going to do everything I say, right? But that's not really how relationships work, right? Like maybe in his fantasy alpha world, but like read between the lines. But he goes on, and then I get her on webcam so we can become rich together. Whether you agree or disagree with what I did with them, their loyalty, submission, and love for me doesn't matter. You cannot reject the results, and the results are simple. My girlfriends would do more for me than 99.9% of men's wives would do for them. First thing, keeping 4 girlfriends all happy is hard work and leaves you with very little time. So you learn how to streamline getting new good girlfriends. All women are not created equal. This is how I came up with what is now the PhD system. I learned the most time-efficient way to meet girls, get them through the dating process, get them to bed, test if they're good girls or not, and begin the process of them falling deeper and deeper into love with me. You know they're not falling in love with him. He has a harem. He has a compound of 75 girls. They're all in love with him. They've never done porn before, and they're stuck in this compound doing webcam for him. So, but this is what he says publicly, right? This is what he says front-facing. Obviously, the accusations is that he doesn't let them leave and takes their passport. To extremely efficiently get women in love with me. That's it. And no one else on the internet is teaching this. No one. It sounds like they are afraid of him. He's like, I'm teaching women how to fall in love with me, 100% guaranteed. They've never done porn before, but they do it for me. And so there's also other stuff coming out. Like I'm trying to find, there was DMs of someone put out that he was selling, but that was like I guess he was teaching people how to be a sex trafficker, which is kind of an interesting business model. The first time the U.S. Embassy came to him and was like, we have reports that you're holding someone against their will. That's the United States government acting on behalf of one of their citizens. But he wrote it off as like, she lied. I'm out of prison. All good. And so I get it, right? Like you can. The
boyfriend thing.
Yeah, you can be like, okay, I get that. But now this time, okay, you have 5 accusers, all former webcam of his, saying that he coerced them into doing sex work, didn't let them leave the compound. And some of the girls say that he took their passport physically, preventing them from leaving, that he was physically violent with them. And also 2 of his accomplices were arrested. And the judge has issued this 30-day. The 30-day thing seals the deal. And I'll remind you, too, I don't know if you've seen this, but Andrew Tate literally said he moved to Romania. Have you seen this clip?
Yeah.
He moved to Romania because the laws are more lax there. And so, but you add it all together, right? And so the first time he gets off, I get it. But the second time, what just happened, in combination with the 5 accusers, the 30 days by court order that he can't leave, it's adding up to be very, very credible.